Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us. More on those stories in just a moment. But first, an Alabama woman is set to face over 22 years for her role in the robbery and shooting of a postmaster. 36-year-old Angela Roy is accused of the armed robbery of the Randolph, Mississippi post office back in September of 2016. Thomas Scott pled guilty to his role in the incident in February of this year. The district attorney says Roy contacted the post office to make sure it was open. Then, while Roy waited in the car, Scott entered the post office, eventually shooting the postmaster. Both suspects were arrested in Lockport, Louisiana, just days later as they tried to flee to Texas. It's been over 24 hours since shots were fired at Eupora High School. The Mississippi Bureau of Investigation says that 21-year-old Cole Brazil is the alleged shooter. Well, he was taken into custody Wednesday evening and is being charged with drive-by shooting. Well, his arrest comes after he rode a dirt bike onto the campus and fired several rounds near the band hall and outside of that building. The good news, no one was hurt. Family members tell us that officers picked Brazil up from a home on Martin Luther King Drive. That's also where investigators found a dirt bike that's believed to be the one involved in that incident. Well, that shooting investigation has been turned over to the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation. However, when the active shooter situation was unfolding, the first call came into the Webster County Sheriff's Department. Webster County Chief Deputy Jeff Mann says within 1 to 2 minutes, about 5 officers were on scene. Mann says students were funneled to opposite sides of the school during the chaos. In these situations, law enforcement, they say they have to keep everyone away from the scene, even parents. However, Mann was an exception. Although his daughter was taking cover inside the school, he had a job to do.
Emotions run wild, you know, with myself and everybody else when something like this happens. So you've just got to be able to direct them in a calm manner to let them know everybody's safe and then how to handle it and where to go. And so we make sure all the kids get home to their parents and we don't leave one behind somewhere when everything gets crazy.
High school principal Lacey Knight told us all buildings on the Eupora school campus were on lockdown within 1 minute. Our Jory Talley will have more on that story coming up tonight at 6. In Starkville, police arrest this man in connection to a domestic violence case stemming back from March 23rd. 37-year-old Frank Rogers III is facing charges of domestic violence, aggravated assault. The incident happened on Garrard Road. Rogers' bond is set at $10,000. Police say a man uses a machete to try and break into a home in Boonville. Boonville police say the wielding machete man is this man, 62-year-old Jackie Sims. Well, it happened at a home on Hauser Drive. Once officers were on scene, they say Sims was seen trying to get inside the residence. He's been charged with burglary of a dwelling, and his bond is set at $10,000. A man that's been arrested more than 45 times and on the run for the last 7 months in the Twin States is back in jail tonight. 33-year-old Jerry Michael Rogers is in the Lowndes County Adult Detention Center. He was wanted on a manufacture of marijuana in Lowndes County. Rogers was also wanted in Fayette, Lamar, and Pickens counties in Alabama. A number of law enforcement agencies were searching for Rogers in the Liberty community of Pickens County last August. Investigators did not consider him dangerous. However, Pickens County Sheriff David Abston says that Rogers is known to be elusive and can live in the woods for long periods of time. Well, crews across the area spent much of today clearing debris and restoring power after severe storms swept through North Mississippi. Victoria Bailey goes to one of the hardest hit areas with linemen from Ford County Electric Power Association. She joins us live from their headquarters with more.
That's right, Scott. Straight line winds and heavy rainfall ravaged the area, and one of the hardest hit places was Choctaw County. Now, trekking through the woods there today with Ford County linemen, I saw the dangerous part of their job actually begins when the storm ends.
They work in extreme conditions, there's no doubt about that.
Once destructive storms leave, Fort County Electric Power Association linemen hit the road to find damage. However, showers and winds can still linger behind.
They work in, rain or whatever. We don't stop because just the weather's bad, unless it's a danger to themselves, then they will pull out. But other than that, we're on the job restoring power.
These linemen know it's part of the job, but so is teamwork.
We just try to watch each other and be safe and make sure everything we do is air to caution.
Hot wires aren't the only danger when limbs are tangled in the power lines.
The roads are slippery, everything we touch is slippery, everything's under pressure from the storm. Fallen trees have the lines down and under a lot of pressure.
More than 2,000 Fort County members lost power Wednesday night. Director of Operations Anthony Miller says restoring power to that many requires skill.
To be a lineman is a lot of training and a lot of skill that has to be acquired over several years to get to that point. And then with all the safety procedures that we have, wearing rubber gloves, grounding the lines out, and using, insulated tools to work on the line, and we can continue to do that and also work out of the insulated bucket trucks.
Our fourth grade science books teach us water and electricity don't mix. It's a rule these workers don't forget.
Everything's de-energized, grounded, all that safety's taking place before we even start work. We make sure everything is de-energized. There's no point of electricity to come back on us.
While the storm packed a punch, Fort County fought back with quick work to restore power.
We understand, electricity in everybody's life now is huge. So, everybody counts on electricity to be there, and that's our number one goal when our customers lose power, to restore that power as soon as possible.
That's right, Scott. Everyone's power has virtually been restored tonight. We're live in Lowndes County for WCBI News. I'm Victoria Bay.
All right, thank you very much, Vicki. And Keith, it was a busy night for you last night. A little bit different picture out there. Let's toss it over to Keith with the first look at our forecast this afternoon. Hey, Keith.
Hey, Scott. Right now, no threat of any thunderstorms or anything like that. We've actually seen a little bit of sunshine trying to pop on up. That's a live view in Tupelo with our Alpha Insurance camera. Still a lot of cloud cover out there. The rain has moved off to our east here as we check out our radar. Now, there's still some isolated showers back to the northwest. Can't rule out an isolated shower this evening. Most of the rain now well off to the east. So some of us will see a little bit of clearing this evening. Some of those clouds will fill back in later tonight. 60s and then some 50s later on this evening. Lows tonight down into the upper 40s. So that's the way it's going to be. A quiet evening for the most part, a quiet night. More sun for the start of the Easter holiday weekend. More in that. More in your full forecast in just a few minutes.
Well, it's more than 600 miles from Columbus, Mississippi to Columbus, Ohio. But when you get a look at the nationwide arena, it's all worth it. Now, Andrea Self, she made the trip, and she now joins us live from the team hotel where many of those fans are staying this week. Hey, Andrea.
Well, Scott, we're here at Nationwide Arena in Columbus, Ohio, where crews are setting up for a really fancy event, awards event that's coming up later on this evening. But we want to talk a little bit more about our Mississippi State Bulldogs team. And the philosophy of this team, of course, is they did not get here alone. If you've ever been to a Mississippi State game, you know that after the game, the Lady Bulldogs are going to make their way into the stands. They're going to take selfies with the fans. They're going to give out hugs. They're going to give out autographs. And that's just the way they do things. I talked earlier to the team's information officer, and he tells me that the fans will return that same gratitude by coming to these games week after week after week.
We had a lot of Bulldogs in Kansas City. We had a lot of Bulldogs everywhere we've gone, and I think part of that is because of the relationship status. It's a personal thing to them.
Well, Scott, all those thousands of fans who have made the trip to Columbus, Ohio will no doubt be attending a big pep rally that's going on tomorrow at the team hotel at 3 o'clock. We invite you to join us on Facebook Live. We'll bring you the pep rally live so that you can be a part of it also tomorrow at 3 o'clock. And then don't forget, in the morning at 9 o'clock, it's our Final Four Once More show, 9 o'clock on WCBI. And you can also stream online at WCBI.com. For live now in Columbus, Ohio, Scott, back to you in the studio.
Looks like a lot of fun. Thanks, Andrea. Well, calling all Lady Dog fans, if you're heading to the big game, we want to see you on air. Check out these pics sent to us from Pat and Jill White. Now, remember, there's a couple ways you can show off your Bulldog pride. Use the hashtag Final4 Once More, WCBI tag, and tag at WCBI News in your post, or just message them over onto us on Facebook or Twitter. We want to see you showing off your best maroon and white. Well, dozens showed up for an area job fair today in New Albany. We look at why some say they wanted to check it out. Stay with us.
WCBI sports coverage of the Final Four is brought to you by OCH Regional Medical Center, advanced medicine, compassionate care. And visit Columbus, the city that has it all.
Welcome back, everyone. Mississippi's unemployment rate continues to fall, but that doesn't mean people aren't looking for work or better opportunities. That is what led one Union County woman to contact area businesses for a job fair. Our Allie Martin was there and tells us there was a pretty big response.
It didn't take long for Clay Hill to make some solid contacts at the job fair.
Well, I wasn't here but 5 minutes and I already got a bag of cards and everything, so it's so far it's been great.
The Tippah County resident has a job but is always keeping his options open. He was one of hundreds of people who came to New Albany's Cook's Adult Daycare, which hosted the job fair. A diverse mix of employers from the public and private sector was on hand, and they were all looking to fill positions.
We have an assembly department, a stamping department, paint department, and logistics department, and weld. So we're looking for any type of manufacturing candidates that would be interested in building automotive parts.
A good candidate is basically anybody, male, female. We don't discriminate on age, gender, or anything else. And we are looking for a good candidate that wants to put in the time and grow with the fire department.
This job fair was a partnership between Cook's Adult Daycare and a lady named Jennifer Jones. She's known around these parts as the Community Angel.
I've been nicknamed the Community Angel because I do a little bit of everything in the community. Jobs, scholarships, etc.
Jones says she wanted to organize a job fair to help those who are willing to work hard for success.
We're trying to make sure that if they really want to work, that they have the opportunity to do so.
The Community Angel plans to organize more job fairs in the coming months. In New Albany, I'm Allie Martin, WCBI News.
And for a special treat, the New Albany Fire Department was also there helping those get smoke alarms who needed them in their homes or apartments.
Looking for more sun? Well, just stay put because we actually do have some more sun in the forecast for our Good Friday. 67 degrees as an average, becoming sunny. The full forecast is next.
your first alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
High wind last night causing some tree damage, even some structural damage. That was the view earlier today in Phoebe, Mississippi, in western parts of Clay County. You can see that tree toppled over that home right there, and that is just an example of how powerful some of that wind was as we got into yesterday evening. Now, right now, things are pretty calm across our region relative to that. We've warmed into the mid-60s. We have more clouds than sun, although we are beginning to see a few peaks at the sun, especially across our western counties, so improvement relative to where we were earlier today. The heavier rain and storms over here across central Alabama, and that's where it will continue to be. Looking upstream, there's really not a lot going on. We may see one of these showers here in Arkansas pivot through the area later this evening, but by and large, most of the rain is going to stay to our east and to our north. The sun is coming on back for tomorrow. A pretty decent Easter weekend. Your Good Friday should be okay. Saturday's looking pretty good. Sunday overall is okay. Just a low-end rain chance, especially across the northern tier on Easter Sunday. Here's our forecast for tonight. Down into the upper 40s. We'll ballpark it at about 48 degrees. Winds becoming northwesterly at 5 to 15. Again, there could be an evening shower, and some of these clouds will linger. But for Friday, here we go. We start out at 8 o'clock. Some clouds, some sunshine around 50 by noon. Mostly sunny to partly cloudy, 60 degrees in the afternoon. Again, averaging things out at about 67. Winds from the northwest at about 10 to 15 tomorrow. 65, 66, 67 in and around the Golden Triangle area on Friday. Low to mid 60s. Farther to the north, 64 in Tupelo, maybe only 61 up there in Corinth. So a little bit cooler to the north. Again, a chance for an isolated shower this evening. Clouds will hold tough in many spots here later on tonight. You may see a little bit of sunshine this evening, but don't be fooled. Some clouds may come back on in, and you may see a gloomy start to Friday, but don't be disillusioned. We are going to see a fair amount of sunshine during the day, and as we get into Saturday too, there could be a few high clouds, but no major consequence from those. High pressure coming on in for your Friday and Saturday. There's the front that will sneak on into the region on Sunday, so the best chance for a shower will be probably right along the Tennessee state line. That front moves back to the north as a warm front, and we really warm up as we get into early next week. So here's our forecast: 67 on Friday, 63 Saturday. It will be a chilly one tomorrow night, upper 30s. 72 Easter Sunday, pushing 80 Monday and Tuesday. And Scott, our next chance for any active weather will be Tuesday evening and Tuesday night.
All right, thank you very much, Keith. Well, President Trump is parting ways with one of his closest White House advisors, Hope Hicks. She's marking her last day in the West Wing a month after resigning as the president's communications director. Hanadoba has the latest from the White House.
President Trump bid farewell to his outgoing communications director, Hope Hicks, Thursday, shortly before leaving the Oval Office for Ohio.
Thank you, Donald Trump!
The 29-year-old, who once worked for Ivanka Trump, played a key role in the president's campaign. He created a new position for her at the White House. Then she took over as communications director last summer.
Hope Hicks, the legendary Hope Hicks.
Sources inside the White House tell CBS News Mr. Trump relied heavily on Hicks' counsel over the past 3 years, bouncing ideas off her at all times of the day. They say she was able to do what few others could: corral and quiet a temperamental president.
It's going to be very difficult to replace Hope Hicks in the Hope role, which was a very multidimensional role over the course of 3 years.
Hicks, who resigned last month, is among nearly 24 officials who have left the Trump administration. Earlier this year, she came under scrutiny for helping craft former White House Staff Secretary Rob Porter's response to spousal abuse accusations.
So no comment at all?
Hicks' proximity to the president also put her in the sights of congressional investigators and special counsel Robert Mueller. The president hasn't named a replacement for Hicks, but Counselor Kellyanne Conway is likely to become interim communications director. Hanadoba, CBS News, the White House.
The madness continues as the MSU girls get ready for their Final Four matchup. We check in with Robbie and Tom next in Ohio.
Recorded sunrise. It was 4:20 on the news. I was like, wow, this is a big moment with Just do Robbie and Tom. Could have done like a morph open sort of. Check. 4-5, blah blah.
WCBI sports coverage of the Final Four is brought to you by OCH Regional Medical Center, Advanced Medicine, Compassionate Care. And visit Columbus, the city that has it all.
Thanks for sticking with us, everyone. I know Tom and Robbie and Andrea and a whole team out there in Ohio getting ready for the big game tomorrow. I know they've been interviewing coaches, players, and again, we want to remind you about our special that's coming up on tomorrow morning, mid-morning with Andrea at 9 o'clock, special coverage of the Final Four. Also want to remind you guys that we want to see your pictures. Send us your pictures via Facebook, via Twitter, tag us, use the hashtag Final Four. Once more, WCBI, you can see your picture on air. We want to see you sporting out your best maroon and white. And stick with us. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Go. Are we going? Okay. Welcome back here. Hey. We are here. We're here in Columbus, Ohio.
It's a party time.
Welcome back. It's the women's Final Four here in the beautiful Nationwide Arena. Robbie Donahoe alongside Tom Ebel. We're getting set for the women's Final Four. We have much more coverage coming up tonight at 6 and 10 here on WCBI Sports. But Tom, this is obviously our first day here in Columbus, but sort of what has it been like so far, you feel like?
I feel like it's been more relaxed than I would say last year. You know better from being in Dallas, but with Mississippi State, they have that feeling of we've been here before. The stage isn't too bright, it's not too big. Practice today, it seemed like they were cool as a cucumber.
Well, we'll have much more coming up at 6. We're running a little short on time, but again, come on back at 6. We'll have much more from here from Columbus, Ohio. For now, reporting live here in Columbus, Tom Ebel, Robbie Donahoe. That'll end our newscast. We'll see you back here at 6 o'clock.
Right, and Keith, we're going to have some 70s this weekend.
And we're not ending this newscast just yet, Robbie Donahoe. We've got weather to talk about. Good Friday. The sun's coming on back. Finally, the sun's coming on back. It'll be pretty nice. 70s for the weekend. A slight chance for a shower there Easter Sunday. Even warmer now, it looks like early next week, too. But we had some active weather last night. I think the next chance for anything like that would be Tuesday evening, Tuesday night. So, Scott, I know you've been looking forward to some more sunshine, some warmer temperatures.
I'm telling you, I'm glad the weekends are finally, the last couple weekends have actually been pretty decent in the 70s and things. And, it's weird that it's an Easter weekend and it's a nice weekend. You know, I feel like Easter always rains.
I feel like Easter's just snuck up on me. It's hard to believe that it actually is Easter weekend.
It's a little early, but that's okay. Real quick, want to remind everyone, send us your photos using the hashtag Final Four once more. We'll see you later.